you were getting reintegrated also because you were doing cameos, you were doing interviews, you were getting reintegrated slowly. I got to ask you at this point, Marc, understanding leaving over in the rehab facility and then starting the process back into reintegration. If right now you today in November could go back to Marc back in August when you're about to enter the facility and you could sit down with yourself for 1 minute, what would you tell yourself?
I would say trust the process. Don't don't even fight it anymore. I promise you, Marc, you're going to be so happy when this is over. And the main thing you're going to learn is you don't need what you think you need, like alcohol and pills. That is going to go away. And Marc, you're going to be able to sleep and you're going to be able to do everything you want to do and enjoy life again. But you just got to put the time in.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask you another mindset because Jerry and I, in a future episode that's going to be airing, we did a debate because we go into different topics when we're discussing the life and times of Marc Bagwell. And one of them that the fans have been asking is because we're bouncing around a little bit between different topics right now is the black hair Marc versus the gray hair. And Marc, how are you feeling today? Because I remember what you said before that you staying black, pitch black. This is your look. This is what you're saying. But buddy, I see we're matching. We're twins in the gray. What happened?
I ain't shampoo. I ain't showered today, but you can see I'm sporting the gray, bro. I'm going all the way with it.
I'm telling you, your fans love the gray
Do they?
overwhelmingly. 99% have voted in favor of the gray. They're like, we like the sophisticated, mature Marc Bagwell. They are digging it.
Let me explain how I feel about it a little bit.
Please.
I believe that everybody is going to cross the age threshold, let's call it. And the threshold isn't about being a star and not being a star again or somebody. It's just everybody's going to cross it, from jeans to the shirts they wear to the hairstyle to their facial hair to whatever they decide, their hair color. Everybody's going to cross an age threshold. And I think it is a little different if you are a person that was seen as a character of another sort. And like me being a wrestler, I think it is different, but it's still a threshold. Yeah, absolutely. It's still a threshold that everybody's going to cross. And mine happened to be Buff Bagwell with his hair black and his sideburns sharp and edgy, which I'm going to have sideburns still. They're sharp and edgy. I'm still going to have a goatee that's perfect. This is going to be my natural colors. But the reason for the threshold is you don't quite know when to put up the young person and bring out the real person. And it's nothing bad. I think everybody's going to cross that. And that means, that meant for me, that you just got to draw the line where you're not going to dye your hair colors anymore because you're 52. I even tried to dye it, like a brownish color. And, to me, that's maintenance. I think everybody should do that. For a long time, I said that. But then, I don't know, the vote kind of came in with family and friends around me that it just was best just to let it fly, let it go. And not, still stay clean and sharp and Buff Bagwell. But still, it was about, letting black hair, Caesar cut Buff Bagwell go and embrace Marcus Bagwell. And that's what I've done. And I'm very comfortable with it. I love it. I'm still dead set on being fully Buff Bagwell here again. That's what Marc Bagwell wanted, was to build Buff Bagwell. And Marc Bagwell will do that again. I can't wait. I'm in the process of it now. And it's a big goal, and I'm very excited about it. And it's going to take some time because I'm 52 years old now. But it's just really a big goal for me. And ironically, with my knee injury, I'm not able to do as much as I want to do right now because of I can't work out because my protein level is so high. And it's called creatine kinase Kinase. I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but basically it's too high for my wounds to heal on my leg. And so I got a PICC line as we speak right now in my arm. And so this is like the main, when you get a PICC line, that's a big IV that goes right to your heart. And it don't wear out like these other IVs you get here. This one stays, man, forever, like for as long as you want to keep it. And I give my own medication every day. And so you go once a week and get your other medicine. So with all that going on, I can't work out. But I was working out really hard before that. So I will get it back. I'm so excited to be Buff Bagwell again, body wise. But it's time to kind of check on, Buff Bagwell and move to Marcus Bagwell, and to get Marcus Bagwell back in the lifestyle again, man. It's just so much fun to be Marc again. It really is.
I gotta tell you, man, like I'm turning 46 this month, and you've always inspired me from a physique standpoint. And I gotta tell you, man, like when I'm at the gym, and I know a lot of your fans out there, they think about that, and I tell myself, when I'm 52, I hope I look half as good, because you talked a lot about muscle memory, and
Yes.
because you've been doing it from a very young age, and you get back in that gym. I remember you were putting the time in, you were showing it up on social media. It comes back in a moment. But we got Buff Bagwell as far as the physique, and then we got introduced now to a new character, so to speak, and that's Mr. Bagwell and Mr.
Yeah.
Bagwell's Neighborhood. And again, the fans are clamoring for it. They love it. It's what I gotta ask you first and foremost: who came up with this whole gimmick, and who came up with the character? Because it's awesome.
Steve Yu,
Steve Yu. Well done. Well done.
And where it came from, which you guys will see it one day when it comes out. But this show, docu-series, is really, 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 man, it's called a sizzle reel. I saw the sizzle in it, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I win at the end of the docu-series. I win of season 1 anyway. I win the juggling contest, and they got in the sizzle. It shows me juggling in slow motion, and it's absolutely incredible. And it's called Change or Die, which I'm sure people have heard. If you want to check on it, it's called Change or Die, and they're trying to sell it to one of the networks now, but it's going to go quick, and everybody's going to be able to see this. But he thought of what was the challenge. We had challenges throughout the docuseries, and one of the last one we did,
and this was filmed in DDP's accountability crib. We've been talking about this one for months. You've been filming it, and you've been evolving throughout this. So Change or Die, you've been living Change or Die, literally.
Right. I mean, it's almost like I did this on purpose, except who possibly would put themselves through this? Nobody.
You can't make this stuff up, literally. And that's the life of Marc Bagwell.
It is, man. I can't make none of it up. Just a minute ago, we sat down. We started this interview, and I saw this. You know what this is?
That's a VHS tape, if I recall.
Do you know what's on it?
Scared to ask.
Bro, I just sat down at my mom's desk. I saw this sitting right here. My mom's passed away a year ago, November 5th. I saw this. Do you know who that is?
That's you, yes. It's your brothers?
Yes.
Look at that, the Bagwell brothers.
Let's see what this other one is.
And we posted before on social media some of your family pictures. Remember the one of you as a teenager with the fanny pack and the Mustang?
Oh, yeah.
People love that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. This room is just Buff Bagwell in it. And this is my mom and dad's family all in here. They're babies, and all my sports and touchdowns and wrestling. It's just unbelievable. Handsome Stranger. I mean, it's just my dad. You can see my dad's drag racing stuff, the trophies and stuff back here.
Jerry's talked about those on various episodes. So what's on the tape, that one?
Can you read that?
Pink sneakers, Marc, raw footage.
I did you see a number anywhere?
Number 18. Looks like
there's 42 of them. I did an MTV thing that was this tattoo I rented out. I didn't rent. They gave it to us for free because they're going to get on TV. That was me and Lex's match at Wild Bill's. All this is on these. There's 40 of them. It shows me doing a full body shave, what it takes to be Buff Bagwell. It was MTV was with me for 4 days. If you do your homework, world, Pink Sneakers did Hogan's Knows Best. And this was before Hogan's Knows Best. This was going to air in front of Hogan Knows Best, except I had a falling out with them the same time they did this.
Is there anything that Marc Bagwell didn't do? Incredible. Incredible. So back to but we got to get back to Mr. Bagwell's neighborhood, though. We got to talk about that one. Steve's idea.
So what came up was the challenge was opposite of you. Come up with something that is the most opposite of whoever you guys are in life. And Steve thought it was a good one. He came up with, what about Mr. Rogers? And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. There's going to be a lot more Mr. Rogers. We're just trying to we've got a lot going on. The PC has 11 champions from DDPY right now that's there. That they had 11 champions, bro. But there's only one out of the 11 that's the main champion. They had 11, and they're still going to get more people that's mad that they didn't get in it. Well, because there's so many DDPY people that make it.
Well, he's got a big team behind him. People don't realize how much goes into the productions. I got to ask you, because we've been seeing on the internet this interesting organization called the MCW Pro Wrestling, Maryland Championship Wrestling. And they were airing Mr. Bagwell's Neighborhood. So, Marc, we've been talking about this, forever, as far as got to get you back into the wrestling organization and getting you up on the spotlight, and boom, MCW. So tell us how that came together. How'd you love that experience?
They called me up, and it was great. And so they came up with the door and all that. But it was a lesson we needed to learn, but it really didn't go quite as good as we thought because it just wasn't ready. In other words, like when I came out the door, God, MCW did so great at everything, though. They had the red door, I came through the door, and there was a fishbowl, and it just was, we did one walkthrough, for example. And as Buff Bagwell, I never even walk through. When I was
one take.
Oh, there was one take. I was one take master. If I messed up the first take, it took me 10 takes. So I didn't try to get it in one take. It just came natural to get it in one take. And, but like I said, I'm not.
That's called talent, folks. That's called talent.
It is. But if I didn't get it in one, it was a little bit harder for me. So I worked to get it done in one. And, so I needed a couple of walkthroughs with it. And I just thought I could remember everything. And I didn't, because the fans were not really with me. The fans didn't know who I was at first. Then, because you got rid of the goatee's gone, right. I can walk in the middle of wrestling wonders. And with this gone, man, the goatee gone, there's not many people that recognize me, bro. There just isn't. I mean, it really cuts the odds down a lot. So
you wearing a cardigan vest and not wearing the hat? Yeah.
Yeah, the no hat, the whole thing, the gray hair. So, and then they know who it is, and then they're kind of confused because the ones that don't see the internet, the Mr. Bagwell's Neighborhood, they don't know what's going on. So it really was, they really, my mother got a huge pop. She got a huge pop. Judy. I mean, it was really good. And they saw it, but it was things we got to learn from it, that we got to show a little more about it before I do come out. It's got to be a little more, like just set up a little more with some like a little promo or something before I enter into the building, enter into the ring. But it still went over pretty good, and it was definitely a learning thing. But it was done really well. And so I really enjoyed it. It was great. I got to get out in front of my fans again. So it really was a good time. It just was, it was just a little depressing because, I didn't get a big pop and I was hoping for a big pop. But I understood when it was over, I just wasn't quite ready for it. So the Mr. Bagwell stuff is going to be more, it's going to come more at the fans, and we're going to get it more out there. But I think it just was a little too new to throw it out in front of a crowd, especially a Baltimore crowd. They're rough.
They are very unique crowd from a sports
Yes.
Field perspective as far as what they handle. And every area, like we've talked before, as far as the Atlanta crowd versus a Washington crowd, every crowd for sports and for wrestling entertainment is much, much different. But I got to say then, you got to start somewhere. And it was just so great to see out there again. And it begins the process. It begins the journey, because then the calls will just keep coming more and more. You got the right team behind you, Marc, and we're gonna be seeing you more on TV, because that's just where the natural progression hits, because the TV loves you. And then we got Boxer Marc.
I beat
yeah.
right.
Yeah, we remember that one.
Yeah. Crazy. This room is just full of memories, bro. Best drop kick in the world. Vampiro. Great stuff, man.
And that's one thing Jerry and I talked about in other episodes, is we're going to bring on more and more of the family pictures, because people want to see you growing up as a teenager, family, bring more family out, bring your niece out, and we'll talk about family stories for certain.